So there's this great quote that says, in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind, there are few. So think about how that lands for you. Ask yourself, like, am I the expert who already knows it all and has done it all? Or should I be open to the fact that I can get better? I can become more valuable. This is why I talk about this a lot. I say, I think our past is killing our future. Right? We've been to the top of this mountain. And we remember how hard it was to get there. And we don't want to grind our way back up. But the problem with that is that mountain's behind us. So I'm going to give you an exercise to help with this, which is every day when you start working, imagine that you can see this guy here at the bottom of this picture, right in the mountain in front of him. Each day when you start the day, imagine you were dropped on Earth with no recollection of the past. Now, you don't know what happened for the last 20 years, but you have all the information about the present. What would you do? Right? You know where you want to go. You know what the new normal is, and you have no idea where you came from. Well, it's pretty simple, right? You would just set a goal for what you want your next 10 plus years to look like. You know you want to get to the top of that mountain, and you would do exactly what you need to do to get there with no frame of reference of where you came from. You see, when we have no connection to the past, the future can be really clear. An analogy to this that I came up with was, especially with the Olympics coming up here, imagine we're all Olympic sprinters, right? And then we get in a terrible accident and we're having to relearn how to walk again. For an Olympic sprinter, learning to walk has got to be the worst thing ever. But that's only because they were operating at the highest level before, right? Their frame of reference is so wide. But we don't get upset or frustrated to learn to walk when we just start. We just do it. Right? So there's this quote that I jumped ahead on, which is, legends aren't defined by their success. They're defined by how they bounce back from their failures. And write this down, screenshot it, do whatever you need to do. But from this day forward, we will all be defined by how we deal with the current market, not the numbers from 2020 or 2021 or 2014. Right? It's all ahead of us. And yes, it's hard, right? But we have to kind of retrain ourselves on how we respond to the word hard, because this is a competitive business. It's why we should train ourselves to get happier the harder the business gets. Why? Because we know that no one else is going to do the work. If we can shift from like, man, this is hard, to no one else is going to be able to do this, then it flips from being, oh, poor me, to poor everybody else who's going to have to try this after me. See, there's people out there who are going to just pretend that it's all going to work out. I promise you, it's not going to work that way. So be one of the few who changes, right? To actually make things different, not just hope things become different.